Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we're talking about game number 6, where the Edmonton Oilers decided to finally drop the guillotine and kill and sever the Stars' chances after suffocating the life out of them slowly over the last 2 games. They have finally finished the job with a 2-1 victory in a very an untypical game by the Edmonton Oilers in their fashion of winning tonight, but they still win regardless of how they did it. And the Oilers take this series 4-2 against the Stars, and now the team that usually wears the victory green should be wearing an defeated green. Haha, I really got him. Anyways, the Edmonton Oilers with McDavid's ungodly and why he's the best player on earth. The goal that he scores to start off this scoring on the power play, his 5th of the playoffs, which is really low for the first. I would have imagined the first time McDavid made it to the finals, it would have been like this extraordinary scoring path. At least scoring, I know he's number 1 in points, but superstar scoring. I would have imagined at least 8 at this point or something. But 5 isn't bad, especially since all the goals he scored have been pretty damn good goals, because he is the fucking best in the world. But anyways, the Edmonton Oilers, they're moving on to the finals, and this team, oh my god, the Oilers are moving on to the finals, and this is, without a doubt, the best offensive team. Yeah, the best offensive team in the playoffs this year, and it shows that sometimes a specialty team can win it all, right? They haven't won it all yet, but they can get very far. Because the Dallas Stars, right? And this is why I did originally pick the Stars to win this series, is that they showed that they could stop the, overhauling, amazing overall team of the Vegas Golden Knights. They show that they can play and shut down against a super offensive team like the Colorado Avalanche. So I thought at this point, the Dallas Stars, they've done this before. They can do it again. But I think I underestimated, definitely, how good the Oilers' offense is. And not that I wasn't giving it credit. Obviously, they have the best player in the world in McDavid. However you want to call it, at least bare minimum top 5 player in the world in Leon Draisaitl. They have Evan Bouchard, who's going unreal in the playoffs this year. And I don't care if someone wants to give him credit for playing with the McDavid. Sure, but, he's still creating the points, Austin Matthews. You can say, oh, he's getting all the points because he's playing with Marner and Nylander. He didn't, though. That's the thing. You still have to get the job done to get the points. Excuse me. But yeah, this team, the offense slaughters the other teams, whether it's the top 6 who can put points on the board, or if it's the bottom 6 that can play very good shutdown hockey, very physical, and really push the pace a lot of times. Maybe not get points on the board, but they definitely can push the pace with McLeod back there and Perry. They do a great job. They've done a great job this playoffs. The defense can suffocate. They can just strangle, just kill the other team, just manhandle them and slaughter them with Ceci and Nurse and Bouchard even. I have Ekholm especially. They've got a very solid D-core that back there can play a very stingy, very good, not stingy is the right word, but very much a shutdown style of play that works very well for them. They just go after. They don't give an inch of room to the other team, except for tonight. So, before I keep sucking off the Edmonton Oilers here, let me talk about this game. This was a bad game for the Edmonton Oilers. This is not the game they wanted to play going into the playoffs for somewhat skeptics like me. As much as I am a very much, open mind to every team, proving me wrong. Last year, Vegas did it. This year, Edmonton has done it. But it's games like this where I'm I don't know. Because the Dallas Stars, they brought their game tonight. But it wasn't their game completely. And it actually kind of is. It does kind of reflect an issue with a team like Dallas and also a team like the Hurricanes. Is that they have the Hurricanes issue tonight, where they didn't have a guy who just said, I am going to fucking kill them. I'm going to take this team and put us into the finals. I don't care what it takes. It was a complete team effort, and that's what I love to see, right? But you remember when Matt Duchene scored the game winner against Colorado? he was having a hell of a game that night. He was being the star. When he got the puck, he was playing it. He was making smart plays. He was doing it kind of selfishly, but that's what you have to do to be a superstar player. You have to play selfish with your puck. Look at what McDavid does, right? He's definitely a puck hog of some sort, but he then dishes it to other guys to get the point. That's why Zach Hyman has, what the hell did he get? 54, 52? God, I look like a dumbass now. But anyways, that's where Hyman gets all his goals from in the regular season. Not to give any credit away, Zach Hyman, who got a goal tonight, 14th of the playoffs, unreal. He is not. No matter what someone wants to say, he is not the Conn Smythe winner. He's definitely not the most valuable player for the Edmonton Oilers so far. That is definitely Draisaitl or McDavid. But that's what Hyman does, right? He sits there in front of the net, and McDavid can do all his razzle-dazzle, get the puck to the net, and he can score the goal, right? And it's not... It takes someone like that to finish the play, right? Like Hyman to finish the play, and McDavid to create the play. The Stars just didn't have that tonight. And it's the same case where you saw last game. I don't care what anyone wants to say, but there is one issue with the Dallas Stars. That last game, I tried talking about this, and people in the comments were like, well, he still made the save. But yes, Stuart Skinner, as you can see on the board, I am a very, 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 very big skeptic of Stuart Skinner, especially, and the defense of this team. Because against the LA Kings, and I'm going to go all over this because I'm going to make their own individual video for the finalist teams. But for the Oilers, Stuart Skinner and the defense do scare me. Because as much as the defense did a super good job of shutting down and giving the Stars no inch and no room to play in the offensive zone, and they really did a great job, because when the puck was down here in the corner, they would pressure them to really make a play that really wasn't the best, and then if the puck squirts out here, they either shoved the puck away or just retrieved it. If the puck's here at the dots, the Oilers offensive guys, especially those bottom six, but then the whole offensive squad are very good at being able to really challenge the guys at the top, and they did it over and over again. But my issue is Stuart Skinner this whole series, and not to be just some sort of naysayer, but this is just ungodly truth. Put hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, right? Whatever. The shots that Skinner had faced this series were not the greatest. The Stars had a very big issue when it came to finishing their shots and plays. How many times did we see the pass go right up to the dot here, right here, in some form in the slot, and the Stars shoot it in a way that if Skinner didn't even move, he would have made the save? There were so many times, especially in Game 1, Games 3 and 4, I think, no, not 4, 4 and 5 especially, where we saw Wyatt Johnston in the slot, where he passes over, he shoots it, and it just goes right into Skinner's pad where he was, right? And then the commentators, the fucking commentators of Eddie goddamn Olczyk, who I used to love, but not anymore, they go what a save by Skinner. He's really bounced back in this one. It's no. No, literally, I would have made the save. You know why? Because I would have just not been dumb enough to stand here, and then I would have been dumb enough to do the RVH where I'm down on the ground, and then Wyatt Johnston just would have shot it right into my leg. That is what would have happened. And so many times in Game 1 where they just shoot it right into Skinner's chest, when they made the perfect play of passing it across the ice, and then it's just about the finish, that final shot, and it just goes wide open net here. They shoot it into Skinner here. And there were so many plays like that this game as well. Because this game, the shots ended up 28-10? The Oilers had 10 shots on net. 10. It was a bad defensive showing by the Oilers tonight. The only thing that saved them was kind of I don't know what the right word is, but I guess the hubris and just the finishing skill of the Dallas Stars really shot them in the foot today. And they couldn't finish, and it was an issue this whole series. Because I don't care what you say, you can disagree with me all you want. Stuart Skinner is by far one of the worst goaltenders in the playoffs. He's not one of the worst in the league, not one of the worst in the whole world. But out of the 16 teams that make it in, he was definitely in the bottom 6, without a doubt. And he is still here, and he is not in. He does a fine job. He does his job good enough to survive and keep them playing, right? He's not just giving up the weakest goals in the world. But when he is challenged, he gives up goals. Look at the Vancouver series. Look at the times Stars actually were able to push in this series, right? I just want to take into context really quick that the Edmonton Oilers are an interesting team where the offense doesn't matter about anything. They are going into the finals with the best offense. But that's not to say that they are just leaps and bounds and miles ahead of the Florida Panthers. But the Florida Panthers offense is a very different system. They have scoring throughout the lineup. They have lines that they can roll on the ice looking to score. They also have lines throughout the lineup that can forecheck and backcheck like the Oilers' bottom six lines. They have a lot of creativity and dynamic play in their lineup rather than the Oilers do. When they toss out the McDavid line, you know what they're out there to do. Then the Florida Panthers can fight back against that. While Florida, they can put Lundell, Luosterainen, and Tarasenko on the ice, and that line can score and also play defense. But that's regardless of anything. My biggest concern about the Oilers is not to take any real credit away from them, but look at what the Montreal Canadiens did when they made it to the finals. And would anyone have said that they are the best team that was in the West that year? Because isn't that funny that Montreal won the Western Conference? But would you say that? I wouldn't. Did they look amazing against the Lightning? Not really. They lost that series 4-1. The Montreal Canadiens, and I don't want to say the Oilers are in that same bracket, but I just want to take into credit who they played against. They beat the LA Kings, who are a team that we know the Oilers own, is another team that looked very, very poor going into the playoffs. And they already, their team just isn't built for the playoffs. They had a bad year, wasn't the greatest team, a lot of issues with them, and they dominated like they should have, right? I'm guessing the Stars or the Panthers or the Rangers would have done the exact same thing. Then they go on and play against the Canucks that go to Game 7. That series, no matter what account wants to tell you otherwise, that was a bad series. It was bad defense showing on both teams, bad offense, bad goaltending on both. Not bad goaltending, really, but that series was a struggle for the Oilers. Their offense, like always, was buzzing. But you know why? I know that because every game that they lost was a comeback by the Vancouver Canucks. This team has a big issue when it comes to finishing. And this series, they play against the Stars, who went against the Vegas Golden Knights in round 1 and barely survived them, which is, I don't know if the Oilers could have done that. Then they go on and play a hard series against the Colorado Avalanche, who are a very hard-hitting, very fast, very quick team. They're able to figure them out. At this point, I think the Dallas Stars are playing such a hard brand of hockey, so hard, pushing so fast, going against some really tough opponents that might have deteriorated them by the point they played against the Oilers. And especially as this series went on, you can tell that there was it's two things. One, the Oilers defense is very hard hitting. They skate very fast. The Oilers are a very tough team. But that's one component, and then they can tire out the already depressing-looking Stars. Did the Stars look as good as they did against the Vegas Golden Knights or the Avalanche? I would definitely not say so. I would not make that argument. I think, not to take away any credit, but it just scares me going forward that the Oilers were playing against a team in the Stars that didn't look the greatest, and look at what happened last year against the Vegas Golden Knights. It feels kind of like the same thing that happened to them, where the Stars kind of go a distance and then their guys kind of stop scoring. Wyatt Johnston was huge and electric in making plays against Cale Makar and McKinnon and the Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights. Where was he this game? You can say that they shut him down, sure, but it was clearly not the same guy that was driving the net, right? Where was Robertson, lately, right? Not the best. Pavelski, completely quiet this whole playoffs. To me, there's just something missing from this team that they really stopped showing up, especially the defense. Heiskanen and Lindell, first 2 rounds, it was like, oh yeah, the defense there is huge. They're playing great. They're getting points on the board. This series, it was, sure, they shut them down, but at the same time, it didn't feel like this Dallas Stars team was at their 100% best. And to me, the Oilers, like, Skinner did not get the toughest challenge he could go up against. The Stars are very much a very well-rounded team to play, like, a full 60 minutes, but they are not really a rebounds, like, go after the puck kind of team, right? Even though they kind of are, but they're not what the Panthers are. And I guess I'm going to make a whole video about that later. So I guess I'll stop trying to burden them with my words right now, and, like, it's going to change anything. But I guess I'll talk about that more later. But for right now, the Edmonton Oilers, they are a very good team. This is a team that shows they can play very good defense, that can shut down other teams, keep them very low scoring. They can definitely play offense like crazy good. Skinner has shown that he can be a goaltender that can play very strong at times, but maybe not the greatest through a whole series. So to me, the Oilers, they have their game down. I'm so happy for McJesus and Draisaitl. Those two guys, like, I've been number one advocates for them. I know a lot of people say, like, you know, McKinnon's better, or Leon Draisaitl isn't even top 5 or something, but to me, these two guys are two of the best in the world, and I know their contract, especially Leon's, is coming up very soon. And to me, this Oilers team needs to start winning now, and I think this is a great showing that this team has something in hand, but I worry. I worry if they don't finish the job this year, what happens. But for right now, I'm very happy that they got to represent the Oilers and this team in the finals at least once in their career. And if they don't stay around, and to me, I like the Oilers. They're probably my favorite Canadian team, and I am happy. But I very, very much am very concerned about their future in the finals. But I guess that's a video for another day. So anyways, that's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, please, I'm begging you, please subscribe. Please. Until next time, too sweet. Have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now. Please subscribe.